Good morning, my dear Bintegers. This is Binyam on the Binteger podcast. This is episode number, I think we're on 8 now? 7 or 8? Just check the show notes, but I'm glad you're here for a few moments as we continue our exploration into integrity and the essential components, the essential prerequisites is what we've been covering this week on this podcast. Today we are talking about another essential prerequisite in my perspective of integrity, and that is in relation to respect. But before we dive into that topic, let's do a quick feelings check-in. This morning I had a royal sleep in. I wake up fairly early for preparing these podcasts, and so I try to get to bed on time. However, with work being as busy as it has been, and I'm training some new drivers at work, my days have been far longer. I haven't even been able to be regular in my commitments to the gym, but I thought I should probably get rest over the gym. And so I thought I'd be up on time, and yet here we are, a couple hours later than I'd anticipated. So I was feeling a little bit frantic and worried because I was thinking, oh man, will I have enough time to prepare these podcasts before I have to rush off to a busy day at work? And so that's where I'm feeling this morning, a little bit frazzled, a little bit worried, a little bit stretched as a result of sleeping in a little bit. But I'll tell you what else I am. I'm also grateful for this opportunity to spend a few moments with you. I'm so grateful for this theme of integrity that I have committed myself to exploring, because it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. It's the kind of thing that takes a lot of work, to be certain. It takes a lot of investment personally for me to think carefully about the way I am living my life, right? The way that I am engaging, the way that I'm thinking through, and the way that I'm interacting with others. And the lessons that I'm sharing with you, the insights that I'm sharing with you, I've had to learn the hard way over time. And so I'm grateful for the insights. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm so grateful for the purpose that I feel compelled by to make time in my day on a regular daily basis to bring you these reflections. And so I'm glad you are here listening. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to be able to share with me this way and to reflect. This is important. Dear fellow Bintegers, like I explain often, I carve out some time in the podcast to do these feeling check-ins because it is one of the tool sets, skills that I've learned to appreciate that helps me to be in the moment, honest with myself. And I didn't have access to this for the longest time, right? For the longest time, I think what I'd learned was how to suppress my emotions, because there's some emotions that are pretty big. They're pretty uncomfortable, and not knowing how to express them, I just sort of try to squash them. And you can only do that for so long, right? And that's not really being honest or kind to yourself. The entire broad range of emotions is pretty integral for what we're trying to experience in our human experience. And so along those lines, I that is why I believe it's important to learn how to give them space to breathe, to give them space to be expressed. Because when we do so, it's a healthy component for what we're supposed to be enjoying in life. I do spend some time also sharing with you from a list of cards. I call these the Love Smart cards. And there are a few different sets here in these cards, but I'm kind of drawing from the emotion side of the cards. And I wanted to read maybe about 5 of these just to give you exposure to more vocabulary in describing emotions, so we're not just stuck with happy, sad, mad, angry. There's some common words that we kind of go to in describing our emotions, but sometimes it's nice to have even more broader range of words to reflect on that can help fine-tune what we're feeling. And when we have access to more words, we can be more specific in describing and understanding what we're feeling in the moment. So here's today's set of emotions that I want to expand your vocabulary with. And these are in the pleasant emotions category. And this is when your feelings, your needs, your values, and desires are being fulfilled. Here are some other words that you can consider. Here's blessed, blissful, comfortable, compassionate, and confident. Blessed, blissful, comfortable, compassionate, and confident. Now, in the category that most of us usually struggle in expressing, and these are the unpleasant emotions, and these are feelings or emotions that arise when your desires aren't being fulfilled, when your emotions aren't being tended to, or your values aren't being acknowledged. Here are some of those emotions described in words that can give you more specificity. Consider frustrated, anxious, sensitive, nervous, and uncomfortable. Frustrated, anxious, sensitive, nervous, and uncomfortable. And I was just looking at the next word that will start off tomorrow, and that's worried, which is the word that I used this morning to describe my state when I woke up a little later than I anticipated. Let's dive into our topic that we're exploring today. Now, remember from past episodes that I've been sharing with you, this is my hierarchy, my prioritization of values that I consider extremely important for the theme of integrity. This is just my contribution. Yours most likely will be different from mine, and that's totally okay. It'd just be interesting to know why you put yours in the order that you did. So I started mine off with honesty because I lived for a lifetime without honesty, or without being honest in many key specific ways in my life. And so we've moved through the progression. Today we're exploring respect, which I think is really critical in one's expression of integrity. And I think it's so critical that I actually included it in my personal definition of integrity. And again, my definition of integrity is the alignment of one's internal values with their external actions while being true to themselves and respectful of those around them. And so you see how respect plays a part in the tail end of my definition, respecting those around you while you're being true to yourself. Now, I looked at some definitions of what respect is, and here's some of the ones that I came up with. Respect is like having a positive regard or esteem or admiration for something or someone. Positive regard, esteem, or admiration. I liked the words positive regard and esteem especially. It's like a recognition of someone's inherent worth or something's inherent worth or someone's dignity or their rights. It's an appreciation or an honoring or an acceptance of others' beliefs, their values, their boundaries, and their opinions. And it's like treating others as equals to you. And I really, really resonated with that last one. I resonated so strongly with that last one that I went ahead and put a phrase together that really made sense to me. And I said, respect is the gateway to equality. And that's been my experience. Respect is like a gateway to equality with others. It's my way of remembering, hey, these other individuals are equal to me. And so with our equality being in place in my mind, it reminds me how I'm going to engage with these individuals in a respectful way. And so that's really critical. And so I think about that component. It involves listening carefully, valuing diversity, and refraining from judgment while maintaining kindness and empathy to those that you're interacting with. These are really important components for me when I think about integrity in the way that I express it with others, because it reminds me that, hey, I am limited in my insight. I'm limited in what I can see. I can only see so far because of my limitations as a human being, just like they are also trying to figure out the best that they can what makes sense. So just because I think something makes sense that doesn't really jive well with someone else's conception, it reminds me to be respectful of their assessment, even while I may not agree with what they're saying or doing. So respect is reflected in integrity by the following ways. One, it's like a way of honoring others and treating them with dignity and valuing their perspectives, opinions, and boundaries, especially when you may not agree with them. It's so easy for most of us to respect others with whom we share the same values with, the same ideas, the same outlook on life, the same perspectives. It's far easier for us to get along with those individuals. So that's not really noteworthy or hard. However, what is more challenging is to honor and respect others, especially those who have different perspectives and different opinions and different ways of seeing the world. It's important to still have respect in play there because they're trying to figure out the best that they can in the same way that you are trying to do so as well. And so with that equality in place, you'd want the same respect given to your valuation of how you see the world. You want to see that same sense of acknowledgement and honoring of that, even if others may not agree with you. In the same way, we ought to be sharing that with others. Respect also involves being truthful and sharing information with others that they need to make informed decisions and choices. This is really important because when we're truthful to others and upfront about what our convictions or our commitments are, and as we communicate those things to others with transparency, they're able to be able to make their own decisions, and you're honoring their rights to make their decisions. Let me give you a quick example here. When I go on exploratory dates with women, I want to be upfront with them. I have lived with dishonesty in the past where I've refrained from sharing information that is really necessary for them to make an informed decision. And as a result, I've hurt many people along the way. Now, because I'm committed to walking with integrity and honesty, I want to give them everything up front so that they can make an informed decision and say, given all that you've shared with me, do I want to proceed or not in this potential connection? That's important, I think, to be able to share that information with others so that they can make an informed decision. It is absolutely devastating if they're learning after the fact a whole bunch of critical things that would have been helpful for them to make an informed decision. If you withhold that, that's not really showing respect, right? So that's really important. So one of those things I would be mentioning to my potential date is, by the way, in this season of life that I'm currently in, I don't subscribe to monogamy. I'm non-monogamous, and that's critical information for them to know because most women aren't comfortable with that, and it's important for them to know that before they get emotionally connected, right? And so that's part of what integrity for me means. It means taking responsibility and acknowledging one's mistakes and apologizing and making amends when necessary. Again, it's just that acknowledgement that as human beings, we are fallible, we are messy, we make mistakes along the way. And it also means being ethical and respecting the rights of others and treating them with equality and saying, hey, I'm going to make space for you to figure out what you need to figure out while I do the same on my end. And that's really an important component, I believe, of showing honor and respect to others. And so that's why I bake respect right into my definition of integrity. When I say respecting others while you are being true to yourself, there is a way to honor yourself, be truthful to yourself, to follow consistently with where your convictions are, even while you acknowledge the diversity and make space for others to be able to figure out whatever it is that they need to on their end. That's really important and crucial, I believe. And so that is my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on why respect is one of my prerequisites for walking with integrity. I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the things that I shared. Drop me a comment. And once again, thank you so much for spending time and jiving with me on this theme of integrity. I wish you a wonderful day. pursuing integrity. Chat soon. Bye for now.